Though positive week, 4-3 on my pregame card.
Pregame.tv game of the year, game of the decade. We have one of those seemingly every other week. It's always involving the Denver Broncos. They are traveling. Peyton Manning, he's coming home. He's coming home. And it'll be interesting to see the dynamics. I imagine that they are going to give him just a hero's welcome back at Indianapolis at the Colts. These same Broncos were laying 7.5 at Dallas now against a similarly comparably rated team. They're laying 6.5 at the Colts, which makes me think perhaps money will come a little bit on Dallas in this game. Brady, where's this line closed, do you think?
Well, I've seen it at 6.5 and 7. Where does it close? I think it's going to get over 7.
Over 7?
I do. I mean, the public has been betting the Broncos all year long, and they really haven't disappointed until the last couple of weeks. Broncos and over was a public play for the first 4 weeks of the season. It's like Oregon in the college ranks. And people are pretty enamored with that powerful Broncos offense. I had my brother call me last week, who's a recreational player, and he says, "Give me the Broncos. They're going to kill the Jaguars." And I went, "Okay, fine. No, they're not."
You're down, and I will get around to that later on. As you know, we did talk about last week with how Jacksonville was. I'm still pissed about that because I should have made Jacksonville my game of the year, but.
It's nerve-wracking to do that.
Worst team in the NFL against the best team in the NFL.
It looks hindsight's 20/20, right?
I mean, I played it, I gave it out, but I didn't go to war with it.
I played the game, and it cashed, and it was pretty simple. And good on Jacksonville. They really showed up in that game. There was a lot of that game where they were only down by 2 points.
Well, Blackman being back, now that they've got a wide receiver.
Drew played well.
Yes, and I mean, basically they've got Jacksonville has their D team back intact. I think they can probably win a couple games.
I like that one.
I mean, they're solid. They are a solid, motivated D team against a disinterested A team. They should be, Actually, I'm not even sure Denver's an A team because their defense, like people are talking about, like
that's what's starting to show up, and we talked about that last week against the Dallas Cowboys. People are starting to realize that this Denver defense is not too good. They're finding holes in how to attack it, and lo and behold, even the Jacksonville Jaguars did so. So. Again, back to your original question, I believe that there will be a lot of public backing on the Broncos, regardless of what we talked about here, and I think it will get over 7.
Not to mention Monday Night Football. We all got to see Indy get basic. It's interesting.
Exactly.
Everyone's like, they got punked. It didn't look too good. Well, Hay dropping the short touchdown pass. He's wide open. Fleener wide open over the middle. And I had the over. I gave that out, and it was a horrendous total. I've been good with sides. I've been terrible with totals. I think I'm going to stick with sides. And I hate to overreact to any a couple weeks action, but I think it's different when you just get rooked out of a call and you barely lose on something versus you lose a game by 30 points and you never had a chance to get there.
Sure.
And that was certainly the case with Indianapolis. My one concern with Indianapolis, though, is that defense was out there for so many plays. Ryan Matthews for 4, Ryan Matthews for 3.
Time of possession was
5.
Incredible. I was on San Diego last night, as were you, and those drop passes, boy, I was thanking my lucky charms on those, but I was real happy with the time of possession and how we were just wearing down that Indy defense.
I was shocked at the end of the game. I always talk about someone should just, the phone should ring and say, "Hello, yeah, this is Fezzik. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I can tell you when to call timeouts. I can tell you when not to kick field goals and go for it." And
that was something.
I can tell you when you're up 7, you're up 7, you got 4th and inches, and you want to win the game. Well, don't punt. No, you wouldn't punt. You got like a 70% chance plus to get the first down. Just put 4 wide receivers, rush to the line of scrimmage, and sneak it like Brady does. We have with Belichick. Yeah, he makes it every time. I've never seen someone that play not work.
Interesting.
Thank you very much. Have a nice day. You win. How hard is this, people? It's like, look, they kicked the field goal 4th and inches. You have like a 50% chance to make the field goal. You have a 70% chance to make the first down if you just sneak it. Now, it's true if you do the Dan Marino, slow in quicksand line plunge with the jumbo backfield. That's not going to work.
Right.
but just be creative and you're going to pick up the first down.
Yeah, it was a tough call, and thankfully it worked out for him, because if he misses the field goal or they go for it on 4th down and he doesn't make it, you've got Andrew Luck with a short field and only down by 7.
You cannot give the ball back. The one thing you absolutely cannot, and ask the Saints about this, if you are, you cannot give the ball back to a good quarterback when you don't have a 2-score lead. You got to do everything you can to keep the ball, and I'm fine, kicking a 40-yard field goal, but not a 50-yarder.
Well, the point is, I think what you're saying is don't give the ball back. Be aggressive with your possession. Go for it on 4th down. Well, he chose to kick the field goal, which was an aggressive move, probably more riskier than going for it on 4th down, but it worked.
I think that what would have been a really clever play call is a fake field goal at that point. It would have worked for sure. Just snap it.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
I mean,
but now bringing probably more risk into the equation.
I think you can run one of those where you just snap it to and take off up the middle when the defense isn't ready for it.
And with as tired as that defense was.
And the fact that they were just bludgeoning them the entire time, with that. So we go back to coaching strategy and the like. So certainly the Colts, I didn't disagree with. But one thing I want to talk about, I really like the Colts coaching strategies. They don't need me. The Chargers do, because at the end of the first half, the Colts, the Chargers are burning clock. They're going to score. There's 2 minutes left. And the Colts are using their timeouts.
Oh, they did a great job.
Great job to get the ball back into field goal range. And I would say
they had a ton of time left on the clock, and obviously they were trying to score a touchdown. It was a good job by the Chargers defense that they didn't, but they had plenty of time to do just about anything.
And I think that that's the sort of thing that you never see the bad coaches of the league go ahead and utilize.
Well, you lose 5 seconds here, you lose 10 seconds here, and pretty soon you have 40 seconds, whereas Pagano had 1:52.
Right, and that really shows me, that was like I think Bill Belichick is just a genius, and he's not. He's a genius. He hires people who are geniuses. He always defers. When he wins the coin toss, he defers, which is correct. I'm not going to go into all the details, although it's not a big deal. But when he was playing the Bengals, he took the ball. I'm like, what the hell? He never takes the ball. And then what happens to start the second half? Oh, there's a driving rainstorm forecast. It's like Belichick knew, so he wanted the ball to start the first half, and no one else is. And it's not rocket science; it's all obvious stuff. But he's clever. He's
thinking outside the box.
He knows when to take the ball, when not to take the ball. Things like that. Overall, here, as far as my handicap on this game, let's go to the stats. We're running short on time. Denver 6.7 yards per play, but giving up 6.1. That's not very good. Indy stats not quite as good, but there's still a plus differential. And I look at it like I'm waiting for this game to hit 7. And then I'll wait for it to hit 7.5, hopefully. I see the same game as Dallas. I see Denver's going to get lots of points against that Indy defense. And I think Andrew Luck and company, after that slog fest in San Diego on the grass field, on the fast track here, I see this being an absolute shootout again. Can I get to another Indy over after having given out a horrible one? I don't think so. I think I got to just go with Indy. If I can, let me make this one official.
Go for it.
Indianapolis Colts, we're running late. We're going to take +7 or more. Don't play them +6.5. I'm confident we'll go to 7. You might even see some 7.5s. Here locally, you've got lots of options to get them. Heck, if you got to, drive down to your local Jerry's Nugget if need be. Go over to Treasure Island. Do what it takes. Go to the coast, and you can play them probably first half +4, second half with, the public's going to be all over the Broncos, so no hurry on this one. Take your time. Got to get and bet the Eagles -2.5. Don't have much time in that tick. Get at that one right away. But on this one, go ahead and wait. We'll play this one at post, and we may well sprinkle a little. Be our style. His followers have followers on the money line.
I like it. Yeah, and I don't disagree with you there either. I probably would consider sprinkling a little bit because I think 7 is just too many points. We're seeing that reaction off of what appeared to be a really poor effort from Indianapolis on Monday night. The public is going to ride this Broncos freight train, but I think the Colts have proven they're a very good team. And what a trifecta it would be to take down San Francisco, to take down Seattle, and then bring down the mighty Broncos.
Take down the top 3 teams, arguably in the league, and that would be pretty darn outstanding. I think that's a good reference. You said the Bronco freight train. And I'm thinking about the Coors train, where I guess Coors is in Colorado there.
Sure.
And so what's the song? that they sing?
Gosh,
People on the road.
Yeah.
Join in. Join in the Bronco train.
The banquet beer, the Coors Light, and the
I'm just thinking the train
stuff,
goes and
the
everything.
freezing cold, and the guy coming out of the cooler. I mean, I don't know.
Speaking of freezing cold, there's method to the madness. We are going to be breaking down here, pregame.tv, the early look Super Bowl line. The AFC with the Broncos is up to -3, and apparently some of the odds makers in town have forgotten that the Super Bowl is going to be in New York City this year. Stay with us, pregame.tv.